Indian cinema, and especially Bollywood, is often criticized for its stale and formulaic genre that revolves around a hero, a villain, and a love interest. And this is sadly true most of the time. However, in spite of this, several times we have seen movies taking the bold step to break away from these shackles. One such brilliant endeavor was the 2007 movie about a kid suffering from dyslexia. Welcome to WhyZ, and today I will talk about Taare Zameen Par, a movie which I feel is one of the absolute best Bollywood has to offer. Taare Zameen Par revolves around the life and thoughts of 8-year-old Ishan, who suffers from dyslexia. The movie explores topics like societal norms, peer pressure, prejudice against disabilities, and the burden of parental expectations, combined with the beautiful relationship of a teacher and a student, reminiscent of the Gurukul system of the bygone era. Now, the film is quite bold in its approach because it successfully tears down the societal shackles that bounds individuals to mediocrity. It honestly compels us to ask this question again and again, that how can creativity not be a part of the educational curriculum? Darshil Safari's expressions and body language is spot on. He doesn't speak a single word for quite a long while, but still, his character resonates to the audience and touches their heart. Although he excels in art, his poor academic performance leads his parents to send him to a boarding school. His experience there is harrowing, and naturally, he shuts himself off completely. However, Ishan's new art teacher suspects that he is dyslexic and helps him to overcome his disabilities by challenging the norms of the society. This is the basic premise of the story. Now, one of my favorite scenes in this movie comes from Aamir Khan's character Nikum Sir, when he identifies Ishan's problem, that is dyslexia. He goes to his house to persuade his parents and make them understand his situation. He uses the example of the Chinese language for this. Nikum Sir explains to Ishan's father that just like he doesn't understand the Chinese writings at the back of a particular toy, Ishan is similarly incapable of understanding English alphabets and numbers because all of it is just a complete mess for him. It is not something that he is deliberately doing for fun. Instead, he just needs a little extra care and understanding from the people around him. This scene is simply movie making at its best. A small tidbit here. When Nikum Sir goes to Ishan's house, he is awestruck by Ishan's creativity. And only after that does he realize the truth about Ishan's dyslexia. Also, there was a very subtle Easter egg that made me all fuzzy up inside. Among Ishan's drawings and models, there is a fort that is guarded by Power Rangers SPD action figures. And as an Indian tokusatsu fan, I really enjoyed this small Easter egg. The rest of the story revolves around Professor Nikum trying to help Ishan learn new things by putting in the extra effort that everyone around him failed to give him in his hour of need. Art plays an important role throughout the movie because it is art that helps Ishan to grow out of his shell, and it is art that helps the student and teacher bond to succeed. This is paid off incredibly well in the end with a truly emotional and tear-jerking finale. Taare Zameen Par begins with a beautiful exposition of the joys of childhood. However, it is successful in capturing the complexities of the modern lifestyle and the blind rat race to succeed that leaves little room for mental and psychological development. Also, the movie is very much Indian at its core because it doesn't shy away to portray the illogical concepts of the Indian society in general. Case in point is the boarding school phenomenon. Moreover, I really like the fact that this movie was daring enough to break away from the generic hero and villain tropes of Bollywood. You see, this movie transcends this overused trope because there is no real villain in this movie. In the beginning, we are falsely led to believe that Ishan's father is the villain because he is an angry man who doesn't care for his son and that is why he sent Ishan to boarding school. But that is far from the truth, because his father is not evil at all. He is just doing things what he feels is the best for his child. He very well knows how cruel the outside world is, so he tries his best to make his son become better. It is true that his way of doing things weren't correct, but he's not evil himself. Instead, the real villain of this movie is the rigid and orthodox society that views anything different as unsuitable. And lastly, the songs and their placement. Songs play an important role in Bollywood movies. However, most of the time, their placement breaks the tempo of the movie, especially stuff like randomly dancing on the streets. Now don't get me wrong, I too enjoy some of these songs, but most of them are not placed at the correct conjuncture. But this movie is different. Here, the songs actually help to progress the story because it is placed at crucial and emotional moments of the story which would have otherwise been very difficult to portray with words. This movie has made me emotional every time that I have watched it, and the emotions here are genuine. The Ma song is really very heart-touching. My only real problem with this movie was the lack of proper development of Ishan's elder brother Johan. I feel that it could have been a little better, and along with that, I felt that one character was very out of place. And that character was the woman who was a fellow teacher with Nikum sir at the special school for kids. She is featured prominently during the second half of the movie, but we barely know anything about her. It is really sad that this movie is so underrated. When people talk about the best movies of Aamir Khan, they often refer to Lagaan, Three Idiots and Dangal. However, I feel his performance was spectacular, if not better, in Taare Zameen Par. I honestly love this movie and I feel that it is one of the best of Bollywood. This is a heart-touching movie that can be enjoyed by both children as well as adults. And the message that it tries to impart is absolutely necessary in our current socio-economic scenario. This movie also has a very special message that every child is special and every child is precious. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. This is WhyZ and I'll see you soon in the next video.